Sentry mode activated. Target acquired.
Hey there, hunters. Now, I know what you're thinking. I don't do specific weapon reviews because it's stupid and usually a waste of time. All weapons pretty much function the same, but that's kind of why I'm doing this one. This is not the same at all, and I'm here to give you the rundown on the Adept Stormslinger. So to begin, this weapon was already really cool when we had the Rare 9 version. It had the same stats and ammo pools as a heavy bowgun, but on a light bowgun frame. It has 9 rounds in its thunder ammo clip like a heavy bowgun, and has the raw of a heavy bowgun. That alone is pretty unique. Sadly, when you upgrade it, it does not go to 5 mod slots like a heavy bowgun. I mean, wishful thinking, right? But, stuff goes way beyond that. So when you upgrade the bowgun, you get a new mod for the special ammo it gets, and it's exactly that, it's special ammo. So while you have the mod equipped, you lose your landmines in place of this new ammo. Honestly, I don't really like that. My bowgun's already starved from mod slots, and having to use one of them to actually get the unique features of this bowgun is kinda lame. It should just be the default special ammo, or give us that 5th mod slot to make use of it. Now, because of this, we can't quite make the elemental ammo as good as we should, because it takes 2 recoil and 2 reload mods to make it, recoil 1 and fast reload. And we do need the power barrel mod for Pierce for the thunder ammo. If we had a 5th mod slot, or just didn't need to use the mod, then we could also get normal reload on the thunder, which would have been great because we'd still have recoil 1. But we're stuck with slow reload right now, or you can run recoil 2 and normal reload, which is probably the better way to go about it, to be honest. So kind of sad there. It's fine, but the real thing to take away from this is that we actually have new special ammo for the light bowgun. Regardless of the cost, we got new special ammo. So the special ammo has unique properties. First, it is thunder element, so thunder skills do affect its damage. Also, it can crit, so yes, crit boost and elemental crit do affect it as well. On top of this, special ammo boost also works with it, which isn't explicitly stated in the skill. So you can scale the special ammo much more than you could like Wyvern Blast Mines, which is pretty cool. It works really well with our traditional element setup since we already run true crit element anyway, so it kind of synergizes with itself really well. So next is the way it fires. You can hold or tap the fire button and it will shoot the ammo at an increasing rate, kind of like Valor Heavy Bowgun, and after the 9th hit it will explode and drop you to 1 HP. Now you can stop shooting this after the 8th and not take that giant burst of damage, which is pretty good. Now if you stop at the 8th hit, you will have to wait a little bit for the special ammo to cool down before you can start again, or you'll just burst into it sooner. You can see on the little crosshair there's a dial that ramps up when you shoot it and it cools down. Now you definitely want to swap this ammo when you're cooling down, because it doesn't regen at all while it's equipped. Now if you keep track of the dial, then you can effectively never take that big hit at the end, which is cool, but you're also missing out on that one last big burst too. While you're damaging yourself with this bowgun, it just drops you into red HP, which is also very interesting. I like this because you can abuse this like crazy. You can't kill yourself with this bowgun, by the way. You can be at 1 HP and keep shooting this thing. It will never kill you. So for starters, Resentment is going to be the obvious choice here. You basically always have Resentment active, so that's 20 to 25 more raw depending on how many skills you're running, and that's solid. Now also, this self-damage applies Latent Power. So what you can do is you can just full burst yourself to bring yourself to 1 HP, then pop a sushi fish or a max pot or something, and then do it again, and boom, you automatically proc Latent Power, so there's 50% of your affinity. It's super easy to set up. Now I wish Latent Power was better, but this is still a good way to keep crit up, especially since you don't need to make use of weakness exploit on elemental gunning because you're going to be piercing through a lot of the non-exploitable zones. And not only that, you can also eat for feline heroics and basically always have this set up, which is another big jump in raw. Now obviously most people would go, well, why do I want to do that? Being at 1 HP all the time is awful. And yeah, that's correct. But if you're running Evasion Mantle and Temporal Mantle, you can kind of keep yourself alive rather well. And even if you don't want to run 1 HP heroics, you can keep yourself in good health with just slapping on a health augment. You can keep Resentment up basically all the time anyway, because you just hurt yourself more than you can heal. But it's fine, it's free raw and you don't have to be so low. So, if you don't want to be at 1 HP heroics, bam, slap on a health augment. Works just fine. But the thing is, as you're a gunner, you're getting one shot already, and if you're not, it's damn close. So losing any amount of HP from this thing will probably get you 1 hit KO'd regardless, so it doesn't really make much of a difference whether or not you're at 1 HP or full most of the time. So, do what you want to do, but, heroics is still an easy setup here. However, you can make the best of both worlds by using the health augment on this thing. You can bring yourself down to really low and then self-heal with the augment by swapping out to regular thunder ammo, which makes activating Latent Power also stupid easy. and you can still make use of resentment if you want to do it that way. I also tried this with the Safi armor because the way it interacts is kind of interesting. Normally, if you shoot the burst and it brings you down to 1 HP, the next HP will auto kill you from the Safi armor. However, with the health augment, you heal first, so you can proc that 10th hit to recover from the Safi bleed, and you can keep the cycle going constantly. And it does edge out true crit element builds by a little bit of damage, so that's going to be the super tryhard approach for sure. Now, if you're wondering about the Stormweave armor that was made for this, it's fine, but honestly I'm not really sure I'd ever use it. You take half the damage from the discharge, but you kind of want to take the damage so you can proc Latent Power or Heroics easier. Now, it's still super tanky armor for normal hits on monsters, and it works just fine with this Bowgun, but honestly, after like 1 or 2 salvos, you're going to get 1 tap from a monster anyway, and the barrier does not last. Like, it depletes really easily, and it takes a bit too long for it to recharge for it to be reliable. So more often than not, you're just going to be eating your life anyway, or you're just not making use of the armor. So it's cool, but I'd focus on just higher damaging sets. Now, on a final note, I did try Namiel's Elemental Acceleration, and yeah, that's not really worth it at all. The elemental cap's super fast at Nami. You basically waste all your elemental decos, and while you can use other skills for these, there's really no way to scale your elemental damage besides element and crit. So ultimately it doesn't do anywhere near as much as the true critical element sets or the Safi set bonus, because that does bypass the elemental cap. So the real question, is it good? Well, it's easily the best thunder bowgun in the game, but it can only do thunder. There's not really many other things it can do. And there's also not very many monsters weak to thunder, let alone ones you actually want to use thunder on compared to like stickies. Joe probably being the best thing to use this on. Stygian Sinogre, while weak to element, is only weak during its charge state, and you knock it out of that really quick. However, it's fine because this weapon is specialized for one thing, thunder, and it does that one thing the best. You can make the special element hit for 200 to 300 a shot at the last 3 to 4 hits, which is pretty sweet for a light bowgun, and Thunder Pierce is still amazing on this game. But I often find that the Thunder element could be better than the special ammo if used with Recoil 1 fast reload. I don't know, it's good, but a few minor tweaks here or there would have made this thing so much better. Losing the landmines and basically only having 3 mod slots makes it less fun than I imagined. There won't be a ton of reasons for me to use it, especially for the casual players, because this thing eats you alive. So ultimately, while I love the design and the uniqueness of this bowgun, it leaves me just wanting just a little bit more. So that's the Adept Stormslinger. It's a very unique weapon, and it's good, it has a job, and it does its job the best. I love it. It's exactly the kind of unique feeling things we needed in this game. So thank you, Capcom, and thank you for this Horizon DLC. It was actually really cool. So thank you all for watching, and good luck out there, hunters, and whatever you may be hunting.